What would you do if the place you called home turned out to be a stranger's stage? I asked myself that question as I stood frozen in my childhood bedroom, staring at a tiny red light blinking from the ceiling vent. My name is Ellie, and 3 days ago, I came back to my parents' house in Willow Creek for the summer, dragged by their tearful pleas and promises of family time. I'm a junior in college, used to dorm life and independence, but their desperation tugged at my heart. "We miss you, Ellie," Mom had said over the phone, her voice cracking. "Just one summer, like old times." I caved, packed a bag, and drove the 6 hours back to this sleepy town, expecting lazy days and maybe some bonding. By day 3, I was questioning everything. The first day was fine, nostalgic, even. Mom baked her famous blueberry pie, and Dad grilled burgers in the backyard. We laughed over old photo albums, and I almost forgot the restless itch of wanting to be back at school. But something felt off by the second day. Mom kept hovering, asking questions about my classes, my friends, my dating life, normal stuff, but too intense, like she was cataloging my answers. Dad was quieter, his eyes darting to Mom whenever I spoke. I brushed it off as them adjusting to me being home. After all, I hadn't lived here in 2 years. Then came the third night. I was unpacking my suitcase, tossing clothes into drawers, when I noticed a faint hum. It was subtle, like a distant fridge running, but it didn't belong. My room hadn't changed much since high school. Same creaky bed, same faded posters, same vent in the ceiling above my desk. I climbed onto the chair, curious, and that's when I saw it. A tiny red light, no bigger than a pinhead, nestled in the vent's slats. My stomach dropped. I grabbed a screwdriver from Dad's toolbox and pried the vent cover off. Tucked inside was a small camera, its lens glinting like a predator's eye. My heart pounded as I yanked the device free, its wires trailing like spider legs. Who put this here? Why? My mind raced to my parents, their insistence on me coming home, their odd behavior. I wanted to scream, to storm downstairs and demand answers, but fear stopped me. What if they weren't the parents I thought I knew? I hid the camera under my pillow and sat on the bed, trying to piece it together. Had it been there all along, watching me as a teenager? Or was it new, installed for my return? The thought made my skin crawl. The next morning, I played it cool. Mom was at the stove, flipping pancakes, and Dad was reading the paper. "Sleep well, honey?" Mom asked, her smile too bright. I nodded, forcing a grin, but my eyes kept flicking to the ceiling, searching for more hidden eyes. I needed answers, but confronting them felt risky. Instead, I decided to investigate. I borrowed Dad's laptop, claiming I needed to check emails and search for the camera's brand. It was a cheap model, wireless, the kind you could monitor from a phone. My hands shook as I realized someone could be watching me right now. That afternoon, I drove to the local library, away from the house's suffocating air. I used their computer to dig deeper, searching for signs of surveillance software or accounts linked to my parents. Nothing concrete, but I found forums about hidden cameras, stories of people betrayed by those they trusted. One post stuck with me. "Sometimes, the ones who love you think control is care." It hit too close to home. Back at the house, I checked every room, every vent, every light fixture. I found 2 more cameras, one in the living room, another in the hallway. My parents weren't home, which gave me time to think. Were they spying on me out of paranoia, or was something darker at play? I remembered Mom's late-night phone calls with someone she called Dr. Harris, her hushed tones when she thought I was asleep. Was this about me, or something bigger? That night, I confronted them. I held up the bedroom camera, my voice trembling but firm. "Why is this in my room?" Mom's face went pale, and Dad's paper slipped from his hands. They exchanged a look, not of guilt, but of fear. "Ellie, it's not what you think," Dad started, but Mom cut him off. "We were trying to protect you," she whispered. "Protect me? From what?" They told a jumbled story about a neighbor, Mr. Carson, who'd been acting strange watching the house, asking about me. They'd installed cameras to feel safe, but didn't tell me to avoid scaring me. The explanation felt thin, but their fear seemed real. I didn't sleep that night. I kept the screwdriver by my bed, the cameras in a drawer. The next day, I went to Mr. Carson's house. He was an old man, frail, with no hint of menace. He seemed confused when I asked about my parents, saying he barely knew them. My doubt grew. Were my parents lying, or was he? I couldn't trust anyone. By the end of the week, I moved out, back to my dorm. I left a note. "I love you, but I need answers you're not giving. Months later, I got an email from Mom, admitting they'd been overprotective, driven by a vague threat they couldn't explain. I'm still not sure I believe them. But I've learned something. Home isn't just a place it's trust. And once that's broken, it's hard to rebuild. I keep the cameras in a box, a reminder that even love can hide secrets.